Hello everyone, this is Katie Colleen back with another cosplay tutorial. So today we are going to be making the cape pin for Lucina from Fire Emblem. This pin looked rather different across the different media. There were a whole lot of different versions, but I'm just going to show you how I made mine and you can adapt it for yourself. So I'm going to start by drawing out the symbol. So I'm just going to freehand draw this and it is completely symmetrical. That means we only have to draw half. Now we can just fold that paper in half and cut it out and we will have the full design to work with. So I'm going to be making the pin out of EVA foam. This is 5mm thick EVA foam. I purchased it off of Amazon. It works great. And I'm going to cut out in this EVA foam just the outer shape. And now it is Dremel time! So I'm going to get out my Dremel with this sanding bit on it, and I'm going to Dremel down this badge shape that we have. I'm just going to smooth out all those rough edges. Now that we have the base part of our pin taken care of, we can go ahead and cut out some of the details. The details are going to be cut out in 1mm thick craft foam. I got this from Joann's. It is perfect for detailing. Her cape pin also has this border around the outer edge, so I'm just going to trace around that EVA foam to make sure we have exactly the same size for that raised detail. And make sure it lines up really nicely with the rest of your pin. Now let's cut out the actual design. This is a little bit tricky. We are going to go back and Dremel this down, so don't be too worried about rough edges. Just do the best you can. Now we are going to glue the details onto our base pin. I'll be using contact cement for this, and I'm going to be doing this outside in the cold in winter. And that's because contact cement has some not very nice fumes to it. They are not very good for you to inhale, so always use it in a place that is well ventilated. And then I'm going to press that on to our base. Contact cement takes quite a while to dry, so always let it dry in some place that is well ventilated. I usually leave it outside or in the garage, and I let it dry overnight. So now we have our foam pin, cape pin badge thing. So I'm going to go around the outside edges. I'm still having the sanding bit on my Dremel, and I'm going to Dremel those edges so that they are completely even. Now that the outside of our pin is sanded, I'm going to go into the little details, and for that I'm going to use a drill bit. The sanding bit is a little bit too big to get into all of those little corners, so I'm going to be using the drill bit, and I'm going to be sanding down the edges with the drill bit very carefully. This is going to smooth out any of those rough edges you might have from cutting it out. Now we're going to prime and paint. So I'm going to prime with Mod Podge. I am putting on 2 layers of Mod Podge and letting it dry. I only put the primer on the front of the badge. You're not going to see the back. If you would like to put some on the back as well, feel free to do so. After doing 2 coats of Mod Podge and letting those dry, I'm going to go in with gold paint. Now I used 2 different acrylic paints and mixed them together. Each one by itself was not quite the right color, but mixed together I really liked how it turned out. Now only the detail parts of this pin are gold, but I'm just going to cover everything in gold for now, and I'm going to do an extra layer of red over the red parts. And now I'm going to take this red acrylic and we can add in the red color as well. So I'm taking a very thin detail paintbrush, and I'm just going to be very, very careful with this red that I'm only getting the red where I want the red and not where I want the gold. I did 2 coats of the red as well, or you can just keep adding it until you can no longer see the gold peeking through. Now for the attachment. So you could use a pin back. I cannot find these anywhere in the craft stores. I don't know if I'm just looking out in the place, but I cannot find these. What I've been using is a large safety pin, and I use that for all of my brooches, pins, and the sort for cosplay. So we are going to be making a pin back out of this safety pin. We will be gluing it down with this E6000 industrial strength glue, and this also does not have a super great scent to it. It's not super good to breathe, so I always let it dry in the garage overnight. Then I'm going to set the safety pin in there. This glue does take a long time to dry, so it will not hold up by itself. So I used a piece of Scotch tape to just kind of hold this pin vertical while it dried. And then the next day after I took the tape off, it holds very well. and this is ready to go. I did attach it to the front of the cape. I have a full tutorial on how I made the cape as well if you'd like to check that out. So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible, and I'll see you all in the next video.